As I am making this video, we are 23 minutes away from a government shutdown. Dum dum dum. I'm very tired, so if I seem like I'm dragging a little bit in this video, it's probably because I am. But I figured I'd make a video on this government shutdown because it's a pretty big deal. And as I'll explain later, this is only the very first fight in many fights. Okay, so basically, around 11 o'clock, uh, there was a deal reached by John Boehner, by Harry Reid, and by President Obama to fund the government. And in this deal, basically, Planned Parenthood will be funded, which I'm happy about. There will be 38.5 billion in cuts from other programs, which I'm slightly unhappy about. But all in all, I'd say it was a pretty fair deal and not a fair deal at the same time. Okay, here's what I mean by that. If I look over here a lot, it's because I'm actually watching this live. When the Republicans came out in February, they said they wanted to cut $32 billion from the deficit. And this was their number, was 32 billion. Later they said, we actually changed our minds on that. We're going to ask for $60 billion in cuts. So basically now the Republicans claim, oh, we never said anything about 32 billion in cuts. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We were saying 60 billion in cuts from the beginning. So you guys, you Democrats, should meet us halfway. Halfway should really be about $15 billion, but actually $16 billion. Instead, the Democrats do what they do well. They caved. They said, "Okay, okay, we'll give you all 32 billion in cuts, and we'll give you some more." Basically, what happened was the Democrats gave 38.5 billion in cuts, when Republicans originally only wanted 32 billion. Democrats are either really stupid, horrible negotiators, or they're closet conservatives. That's the only thing you can conclude from something like that. But some have tried to assign blame that the only reason we're in this mess is because Democrats last year didn't pass a budget. The problem with that is they tried to pass a budget. It was filibustered by the Republicans. So it's really ironic to hear a Republican say, see, these Democrats were unresponsible and they needed to pass their budget and we wouldn't even be in this mess. They kind of didn't pass the budget because you filibustered it. And you filibustered it many times. They tried to meet you halfway many times. They've been trying to pass this budget with the Republicans forever, but those idiots in the Senate have just constantly filibustered everything. So that's a bunch of bullshit. And then there's the media's kind of said like, this is gonna be their seventh Band-Aid budget. Stopgap budgets are referred to as Band-Aid budgets sometimes. And that's basically what the deal is until they can actually write up the real deal. The one that they have to do before midnight is a stopgap. Well, all those Band-Aid budgets were there once again because of Republicans. This is this is all a Republican problem. All of it is due to the Republicans. And if anybody tries to dispute that, fuck you. Fuck you. Anyway, this budget is gonna be. We're gonna look back at this and wish things were this easy, because in the next couple of months they're going to have to raise the debt ceiling, and they're going to have to pass a 2012 budget. And I can only imagine how fun that is going to be. The 2012 budget that they're actually going to vote on next week is, oh, I can't remember what it was called. It's some stupid name. It's by Paul Ryan, that basically wants to destroy Medicare. Literally, destroy Medicare. Basically, defund all of Obama's healthcare law and give massive, massive tax breaks to the rich and corporations. So the Republicans are probably masturbating to that as we speak, and they will pass that probably easily in the House of Representatives, but the Senate is not going to go for that at all, and we're going to be in this situation all over again. So that'll be an interesting fight, one that I think will be very, very, very good for the Democrats. Then we have the raising of the budget, or raising of the debt ceiling, which, if you raise the debt ceiling, you're basically. Do I really have to explain the debt ceiling? If you raise the debt ceiling, you're going to be raising the debt ceiling. If you don't raise the debt ceiling, now here's where things get interesting. American bonds will suck. We will default. It'll be the first time in history this happens. And Republicans, because they don't grasp the macroeconomic principles that would go along with this, will probably vote against raising the debt ceiling. So, I'm trying to think right now what is going to happen in that fight. I don't know what's going to happen in that fight. Maybe the Democrats will cave and say, okay, we'll cut spending by this much, but just please pass that debt ceiling in the House. That's what I think is going to happen. The budget, though, the 2012 budget, now that's going to be a good brawl. And it might even spill into the election cycle, which, like I said, is absolutely awesome for the Democrats. All right, so I'm going to check the time right now. We are 14 minutes away from a government shutdown, and they still have not voted on it. They have still not voted on the stopgap measure in the House. I'm guessing that they will, and they will literally avoid a shutdown by about a minute. So I'm going to call it right now. Alright, hope you enjoyed this very tired tirade. Um, comment, video response, do whatever.